If you want a simple strategy to immediately elevate the expression and nuance in your piano playing, today's video is for you. Hi everyone, my name is Josh Wright. I am a concert pianist and online music educator. Often, students will come to me with concerns like, I'm trying to be expressive, but I sound nothing like the recording, or I'm doing all of these markings that the composer has said to do or that you have said to do in lessons, but there's still a little something missing in my playing. What is that and how can I fix it? Today's video will be discussing the idea of macro versus micro shaping. I like to use famous examples just so it's applicable to as many people as possible, but you can use this whether you're a beginner or all the way to elite level playing. This is an important concept to understand. If we think of just the words micro and macro, micro meaning small, macro meaning big, we want to apply that to our expression. So on this WC example, in the second measure of the sheet music that's pulled up on your screen, we see it start with a sextuplet, and then we go back to normal triplets. We're in 9/8 time in this piece. So the counting, I have a full tutorial on this piece. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and I'll link that tutorial if you do need extra help with this. But we see that sextuplet versus the normal triplets, and then we go to another one of those groups, and then another one, and then we finally arrive there. So this last one is going to the climax, which is there, and then it dissipates. And then we go into the famous main theme. Okay. WC at the top here of the sheet music on your screen, he's saying, I want you to keep getting bigger and more animated. So that's our macro shape. We know that starting from here, we have to get bigger from that point all the way to that point. He doesn't give us any other dynamic markings throughout here, except when we finally get to the climax. And then he says diminuendo molto, so get a lot softer. And then we can be really gentle here when we start that final roll. But what do we do in between there? Do we simply just keep getting bigger and bigger and that's it? That would be an example of doing a macro shape without micro shaping. And let me show you what that sounds like. I'll do my best. This is kind of hard to do. Sorry. Okay. A little bland. It doesn't have nuance. If I was delivering a speech and I was working up to a climax of the speech, a moment where I wanted to pause or talk louder or perhaps talk softer, but really make a point, I'm not going to read this speech and then this happened and then this happened and then I kept getting bigger. Like, I need nuances along the way. So this is where micro shaping comes in. Let's think of a bigger micro shaping strategy and then an even smaller micro shaping strategy. Okay, so I like to think of this, and I'm going to play this really fast just so you can get the idea of the major building blocks of this section. So the first two measures, starting at the second measure of the sheet music on your screen, that's going to be we're going to call that level 1. That's level 1. And then I feel like this one's a little bigger. This is level 2, starting from here, starting from that second line. This is level 2. And then starting in that third measure of the second line on your screen, this is where level 3 starts. And then we could call that level 4 if you'd like. Okay, so we have a building block of 2 measures, 2 measures, 2 measures, and then we've reached our climax on that following measure. So think, okay, in this area, I want to be level 1, whatever that is. The reason I don't like to assign a specific dynamic marking to it, like, oh, that's piano or that's mezzo piano, is because we have further microshaping, and sometimes that messes students up. So within that 2 measure block, I can do even further microshapes, and that's where the lowest level of microshaping comes in. So I want to do a small crescendo diminuendo there. So I'm going to start soft and get a little bigger and then get softer. And then I will also do a crescendo diminuendo in here. But that all falls under the umbrella of level 1 dynamics. I'm going to go ahead and say, I mean, I just told you don't think about it this way, but I'll say that's kind of the realm of piano. Maybe some mezzo piano in there, okay? Next line. This is level 2. Okay, so definitely bigger than level 1, but I'm not reaching climactic levels yet, okay? So same idea. I'm going to crescendo up to here and then diminuendo back down. And then same thing there. Crescendo. So definitely less than level 1, which was... Here's level 2. All right, and then level 3, quite a bit bigger, because I need to prepare to reach that climax. As I think about microshaping in level 3, so these are the final 2 measures before I reach the climax. Which one should be bigger? Probably the measure right before the climax. So even within level 3, I'm not going to do it exactly the same as I did at level 2 and level 1. I'm going to have the first measure do a bigger crescendo and diminuendo. Crescendo up there, but it's not going to be as big as the crescendo that I do in this measure. Okay, and then coming back down. All right, so let's thread this all together, okay? And I'll kind of talk as we go through this just to remind you of everything we've gone over. So we're at level 1, crescendo. Just a small crescendo and diminuendo. Another small crescendo and diminuendo. Level 2. Maybe I have my una corda pedal down for that first one, and then I come off the una corda for level 2, but it's still quite soft. Okay. See, I came down, but not as much as the first time. I was really soft. This second time, a little bigger. And then the third. Take a lot of time so this settles down into that pianissimo. One more bonus tip that we can go over is how much left hand support and how much voicing am I going to have. So I along with micro and macro shaping, you have to be voicing. So I can't be playing. I can't not be voicing those tops out. Another thing, the bass support that I was just talking about, these low octaves, those could probably be a little bit bigger. Well, they can be for sure. I would definitely do this. I'm just saying it's a possibility. If you hate it, you don't have to do it, but I definitely like this a little bit more than these ones in the left hand that come after it. So even though it's soft in level 1, I can have a little bit more presence there, just slight. That also kind of creates its own macro shape. These gradually get bigger. more in the left hand. And then the most here. See, so I can be quite big here, and then I can dip back down and crescendo. Even though that's my measure right before the climax, this sets it up as kind of a beefier measure, and then you reach the climax. I can't tell you how important this concept is to sound very interesting and expressive in your playing, not stagnating. Of course, you're putting in the effort. If you're even watching this video, you're putting in the effort to try to be a better expressive, more musical pianist. But the idea of micro shapes, so these little shapes along the way in the bigger picture of where you're going. I would say in general, students are decent at macro shaping. They know kind of where they want to go overall, and they're not as detailed with micro shaping. So think of that. We did 3 different levels. We did an overall macro shape with level 1, 2, 3, but then we also did micro shapes within that, and then even smaller micro shapes within that, measure by measure, thinking about that. With your micro shapes, a little warning, don't get too extreme when you're micro shapes, because then your music can sound seasick. So up and down, like too extreme. So just be careful of that. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, my email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. If you'd like to go even deeper than this channel goes over, I will leave some links to my paid courses in the description below. One of them, the VIP Masterclass series, goes over questions just like today's video. Members can write in their questions. I actually got the inspiration from today's video from one of my private lessons, but people from the VIP Masterclass series will write in questions just like this all the time. How can I sound more expressive? I seem a little stagnant in my playing. What are some ways that I can remedy that? And a video like this is what I answer each week in the VIP Masterclass series. The archive has over 1,500 videos that you can access as a member. Just this past month, on May 4th, we went over how to properly execute polyrhythms, counting, expression, rubato, and more in the final 5 measures of Rachmaninoff's Elegy in E-flat minor, Opus 3, number 1. We did that request for Catherine. On May 11th, we did a request for Sita. We went over trills, how to effectively practice long, extended trills, tips for fluidity, speed, and consistency, and how to prevent the hand that doesn't have the trill from interrupting the hand that does have the trill. We gave examples from Bach's Invention number 4 in D minor and Mozart's Sonata in C major, K545. On May 18th, we went over a video for Channing. He had some questions about a Bach piece and how to voice the left-hand melodic lines effectively. And then on May 25th, we went over some difficult passages in Chopin's second concerto for Wei Ling. She had some great questions, and we were able to go into detail over some strategies, both technically and musically, that could help her. If any of you have any further questions, again, my email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. We'd love to have you join us in that VIP Masterclass series. The link for that and all of my other programs can be found in the description below. I hope today's video has been helpful. Have a great week. Good luck in your practice sessions.